Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, but first, as always, our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. High today's going to get up right around 80. Low, they're calling for 66, and surprisingly, the water temperature dropped. It's down to 71 degrees now. We just keep an eye on it. I'm sure it's going to warm back up pretty soon. Take a look at our river readings. The Apalachicola Bluntstown, we're looking at it's looking real steady right now. Got a little bit of a drop to it. Going to drop a little bit more toward the end of the week. It's reading a 7.7 this morning, and it's Choctawhatchee at Caryville is just really steady at a 6.3, and I got a good report from the Choctawhatchee River. They really caught a lot of brim and shell cracker over this past weekend. It was a good weekend on the Choctawhatchee River, and I'm sure I'll be getting some reports next day or two again on what happened on Apalachicola. But I did get a little report on a little mayfly hatch, a little small one, so we'll talk about that later. Let's take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Today is Tuesday, May the 10th, and we're looking at some just super strong tides. The next couple of days, we have a high tide at 12:44 right after lunch, and a low tide at 11:58 tonight. Really good. We're talking about these are 2-foot tides when you see this kind of description on them. That big drop right there, right at 2 foot. Okay. The marine forecast will be south-southeast at about 10 to 20. So a good strong breeze this morning. Okay. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's jump into some pictures. I got a few pictures I think you're going to really find interesting. Little Miss Anna Petronas right here in red snapper. I show Anna once a week. I'm going to come on the show. Red snapper season opened this past weekend, and I told you we'd be bombarded with some red snapper pictures. Little Anna Petronas. Now look at this one. This is Barry Payton. Read what he wrote. Not bad for 55 minutes from the time we left until we loaded up. That's a nice haul right there, Barry Payton and his crew. Redfish, Tim Creasy. That's a nice redfish right there. Good job, Tim. I told you frogging was hot now. This is Justin Carroll, and that is a big frog. Frogging on the river around these ponds is an exciting thing to do in the springtime here in the Panhandle. Catfishing is also strong. William Jones up there around Compass Lake. Some good, healthy catfish right there. What a variety of things we have here. All right, I had Zach Saffel. Remember, Zach was on the show a week before last. Zach's one of my outdoor boys, and he just really loves to fish, and he and his buddies went out, and good job, Zach. Zach's going to be a good football player over at FAMU. All right, check this out. This is opening day. This is Chris Kramer on his trip. Those fellas had a good time, a good haul right there, Chris Kramer. And, okay, Virginia Danner Spiver. A lot of y'all may remember Virginia. She used to work at Howell Tackle. She's a full-time mom now, and she's a good fisher girl, though. She can really catch some fish. So good job, Virginia Danner Spiver. Don't forget, coming up now, I haven't talked much about this. We're going to start talking about it. Old Nick's Redfish Tournament, the largest on the Gulf Coast over here in Freeport. And it's going to be a big one. That's only about 2 weeks away, so be aware of that. And also, they're going to be doing a speckled trout shootout at the end of this month, and also June the 4th and 5th, okay? This case takes care of picture announcements. Now, we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back with this video. But this video is from 2012. Folks, we as an outdoor community face a dilemma when it's talking about the scallop season for this year. It's fascinating as all information, as a group of people still want to have something. The scientists say we don't have any. But for us to make an intelligent decision as outdoorsmen, we need to see how they do the research. So this is a research I just want you to be aware of. I've had some new viewers in the last 4 years, but this is the research. This is how FWC does the research. I would go with them and show you exactly how they do it. So this is what they're going to be working on. This is how they're going to do the research again this year. And I hope to go with them again and show you. But I just want you to see how it's done so we can make an intelligent community, as a community, we'll make an intelligent decision on what we're going to do about the scallops for this year. Okay, so we're going to take a break and come back and show you this video on how to do it. Okay. A little cloudy right now. We're going to do a scallop survey. Look at those tents people talking about leaving on the beach all night long. Yeah, look at There's a lot of grass down here. And there's Sarah.
Hi, Winston.
Hey.
I got a new crew with me. This is Rick and Janessa. Hi.
Rick and Vanessa.
And Janessa.
Janessa.
Yes. Yes.
Well, good to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you again.
Have y'all got a clearance to be on TV?
Yes.
I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late.
A few.
Yeah, I said 10. Okay, y'all ready?
Yes. Are you ready?
Well, I'm ready. I'm
Okay.
gonna jump in. I got my personal flotation device, and we're excited. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Sarah, tell us what's been going on. What have you been doing the past year since I saw you?
The past year. Well, we finished our surveys last year, and numbers were pretty good at just about everywhere. And then our director of the Institute asked us to do a post-season survey. So in September and in October, we actually went out after the season closed and surveyed 6 of the same sites that we did in the summer. So St. Andrew Bay, St. Joe Bay, Steenhatchee, Homosassa, the Hernando, like Wekiwachi area, and then Ancliffe. So we had 2 areas that were closed, which we were kind of treating as our control to see how they fared just over the few months. And then 3 of the areas that were open that probably got hit the hardest as far as harvest. So we did that, and numbers were still pretty high, most everywhere except for the Homosassa area. They were pretty low, so we were concerned to see how this year's crop was going to be. I've actually had a crew finish that this week as well, and numbers are pretty high. So
Okay.
it didn't seem to have that much of an impact, at least this past year. And then we just continued our monthly recruitment monitoring. So along the west coast of Florida, from Tampa Bay, Sarasota Bay to Crystal River, and then we drive up here monthly and do St. Joe and St. Andrew. So we're just continuing to monitor recruits and watch them over time, make sure that they're still actually recruiting to the areas.
What are you anticipating for today up in St.
Today,
Joe Bay?
last year was really good. It was really high, and I don't know it'll be that high again, but I'm gonna say about the same as last year.
Wow.
So I'm kind of anticipating, stations that have high numbers, some stations that don't have as many, but I'm gonna guess scallops at all 20 of our stations, and maybe not a 155 average, but at least above 100. That's what I'm gonna guess.
That's what we're looking for. Okay, and we talk about our little 4-year cycle too.
Yeah.
So we're going to see if that comes through.
Because it is election year, so we'll see.
Every election year we're down, so we're going to see. We're going to see. All right. This is a working crew now. These are the guys and girls who do all the work.
Hi, my name is Janessa. I did my master's over at the University of South Florida. I've been with Fish and Wildlife for almost 10 years now, working in molluscan fisheries. And this is probably the umpteenth time that we've been out on scallop survey. We're hoping to see a bunch of scallops here. I'm going to be laying out this transect line, and Rick's going to help me by tossing out the floats and wadding our anchor.
So how do you like working with FWC?
Most of the time, it's really good. This is one of the nicer activities that we get to do.
You get paid to jump in the water, aren't you?
Yes, we do. Whether it's clean or dirty.
No, that's true. Cold or warm, right?
Cold or warm,
Okay.
rain or shine.
All right.
I'm Rick Radigan, originally from Michigan. I got my Bachelor's of Science in Marine Science from the University of Tampa. I've been with Florida Fish and Wildlife about 8 months, working on 9 months in about 6 days. Absolutely love it. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, that's great to have people. You don't really have to work if you enjoy your job.
That's
It's
right.
not work. That is great. All right, Sarah, our first stop, tell us what we're going to be headed on.
So we're doing the one down here in the bottom of the bay near the fire tower, and I can't remember, I don't think this one was the biggest last season, but it might have been the station where we found 1,200 in the summer. When we came back in the fall, there were none. So
That was amazing. It got hit hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll be kind of curious to see, did this area of the bay repopulate over the winter, or is it going to be, just a few scattered around? So we'll see what they find.
All right, good deal. We got to sit down. Now, one more time, tell us, we're setting the transect lines, and they're 300.
It's a 300-meter transect line, which is marked every 50 meters, which gets tangled a lot. The 100 and 200 meter mark have a dive flag attached to it as well. We try to deploy them in a triangle type formation, so we have dive flags every 100 meters because it is kind of dangerous when you're out here underwater and boats are zipping around. So we want to try to be as safe as we can, but get the most accurate science data collected. So that's why we do a really long transect. We put 2 divers in, one on either side, and they will measure all the grass within 1 meter of that line, so which is about from my shoulder to the tips of my fingers. So we kind of know about what distance that is that we need to be looking. And we'll just count all the scallops we see. We measure the first 30 that we come across to try to get an idea of, are they all large scallops? Do you have some small, some large? Are they all small? We like to try to track those size distributions over time as well. So
All right,
that's why as soon as we're done laying this, the guys already have their gear set up. So even though it's really shallow, they're probably gonna dive because the grass is so thick, and you really have to be down there on the bottom ruffling through the grass. So they probably will dive this one, even though it, you know, most people when they're harvesting would just snorkel this and have fun.
Yeah.
But since it is a job, we have to work.
Okay, that's our first corner there. All right. How's the water feel?
Good. Shallow.
Shallow. Now keeping with our tradition on Panhandle Outdoors, we always hold up the first scallop. Janessa, you got one? There it is. The first scallop of the year.
And it is a 50 millimeter.
How big?
50 millimeters.
50 millimeters. And Sarah?
5 centimeters.
5
or what about 3 inches? maybe?
That's
a big one.
Well, that is a big one. The first one was a big one. Let's mark it there, and I'll come back July 1 and get it. Let's put it right over there. Now Sarah just made her first observation. Tell us what you just told me.
So they've been underwater for about 2 minutes now, and they're already, you know, almost halfway to the first buoy, so almost 25 meters. With this thick of grass, that means there probably aren't that many scallops, because usually when it's this thick and it's loaded with scallops, they'll sit and they won't move for minutes because they're measuring their scallops. They have to stop, find them, measure, put it out of their reach, look up, find their place again where they were underwater. So Janessa obviously found one, so there are scallops here, but not like last year where we had over 1,000 at the same station.
This spot last year, like I said, had over 1,000
Yeah,
in it.
and
I remember.
that survey took, I believe, Anthony and Lindsay over like an hour and a half to do. They're moving at a pretty good pace, so this one might just end up being around an hour just because the grass is so thick and you gotta really search through it all.
Right.
But that's my guess.
Okay. Sarah, they're on the last leg, and you brought up an interesting point a while ago. I'm going to show folks where they are. That's the first leg, second leg, and this is the third leg, and they're right over there. And you mentioned that you noticed, you observed what?
It looks like they're still measuring scallops because you can see them stop and kind of pop up and get the whites laid out. So they've already done 200, almost 250 meters, and if they're still measuring, that means they haven't gotten 30 yet. So that's low.
Okay, so yeah, they'll measure up to the first 30 and then just count. So
Yes.
we think they're still measuring. They're on the way back to the boat right now. So we'll see in just a second when they get back. Before we get into kind of numbers and all, you said this spot last year
Had over 1,000.
had over 1,000. The count in this triangle last year was 1,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna see how we did on this one. Nessa's still underwater. Now, the young people that are watching, this is what you get to do if you want to be a marine biologist. This is actually their work day. Look at them playing in the water. This is nice, Sarah.
It is nice.
An underwater clipboard. Did you have a good time, Janessa?
We had a good time.
Oh, look at here. The
Not
first.
too bad.
Nice.
We had one very small one though.
All right, we're going to get together up here and add our numbers together and see how we did. Nice fins. There's the riding here.
Rick had 12. Janessa had 17, so our total is 29.
No way. We dropped from 1,000 to 29?
Yes.
No way. I got to see this. That says 12. That says 17. That's all y'all could find?
That's it.
Well, listen, the crew we had last year found 1,000 for us, right? What's wrong with you guys?
We go back out and keep counting, but
Oh no!
anything else.
This is scary. I just heard a big, just a gasp from my viewing audience when we said that. I hear them all over the Panhandle saying, "Oh no, honey, did you hear that?" All right, we're gonna. I don't know what we're gonna do. Not much we can do. We're gonna go to another spot. It's gonna be like fishing. They're not biting here. We're going to another spot. 1,000 to 29. Oh my goodness. Yeah, what were the good size? The size of them?
I think my biggest was 51, so right about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Majority are around 51.
Yeah.
Which is about 2 inches for
Okay.
those of you who speak.
Okay. Right around 2 inches, which is big.
sorry.
Which is big.
Yeah.
So y'all didn't see a lot of small ones then.
The smallest one I found was 25, and I only found one of those.
Oh.
Which is under an inch, or
Yeah.
right about an inch.
Yeah. Setting up station number 2. Sarah, how many stations we have total in here?
20.
20. So we won't check all of them. Take a couple of days to check all of them, but we're gonna get a couple of them in. Listen, next time y'all just gotta do a better job. Y'all don't realize what a big deal this is to the people up here in the Panhandle. Now, right now, I can hear their little babies crying, little kids crying right now. Mama, we're not gonna find a scallop this summer. I think we got spoiled last year.
Yes, you did. Last year was a very good year.
It was phenomenal last year. And nature has its cycles. And remember that. Got to explain that to your 6-year-old on July 4th. Hi, Sarah. This is spot number 2. What did we have last year?
220 at this spot last year, so we'll see.
Okay, y'all heard that. 220. Don't come back unless you got at least 220. Okay, while they're starting, Sarah and I were talking about, this is a map right here, the different stations, these greens right in here. And we were talking, look at this little scientific book. This is cool.
So here's our kind of title page. So obviously we were just down here in the bottom, and it was the biggest last year.
Yeah.
We just did it today, and it only had 29.
Yeah.
So where we are right now, they had 221 here.
Okay.
The next biggest station was number 12. So yeah, so between here and Black's Island, in that shallow, there's a half foot of grass near that natural cut. But in the shallow grass, that one had almost 800.
Wow. But we don't know this year what they have yet.
No, we don't. We probably will do that tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, Sarah and I just on board just talking about, this is amazing. We could talk all day on this scallops and all. We're both fascinated with them. I've done it all my life, and she makes a living studying them. And we were talking about when the spawning season is here in St. Joe Bay compared to St. Andrew Bay. That was interesting what you just said.
So St. Joe animals typically spawn in the winter or the fall, the late fall, when you get that first kind of cold front and the water temperatures drop pretty drastically. So those recruits will land on our collectors, and we'll be able to see them starting generally in December. So it might shift some years and be November, but from November to January is kind of when we get the most recruits on our collectors. And St. Andrews kind of got a shift going where those recruits are generally heaviest in like May. This year was May.
Wow.
Which is off by about 6 months.
Wow.
So we still do get some in the winter, that typical spawn. So you end up with kind of 2 size classes that grow throughout the year in St. Andrew Bay. So when we go over there in a couple days and we're doing those surveys, we're probably going to have a lot of the really small guys, like the 1-inchers.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have the tail end of the other class, which are going to be, they're going to be huge compared to those other guys. So it's kind of interesting to see just the difference between,
this
10,
close.
15 miles apart.
Right.
and the populations just do such different things. So it really makes my job kind of challenging because I think I know what to say,
Yeah.
and then we're processing traps in our lab, and it's like, this isn't right. They shouldn't be here.
So really, the water temperature when it's dropped, that's what triggers the spawning.
Yes. So scallops are triggered, which could kind of be the inverse in the summer or the spring when the water temperatures warm up. If there's any older scallops still left, that might trigger them to spawn. So there's rapid kind of changes in water temperature is generally what triggers them to spawn.
Okay.
Not
Are you smiling?
Oh no.
What?
Janessa found one.
What?
Oh
Just
no.
one.
Rick found one.
Unbelievable.
We're consistent at least.
When we said 200, we meant 200, not 200.
So we have a total of what's our
The
the total?
Wrens and urchins down here.
This is unreal, folks. This is like scary, like. Now I hear families right now calling me and asking what's wrong. Well, they're bringing me back. We've only looked at 2 stations, but Sarah, right now, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good right now, but
Y'all gonna
we still
dumb me
have-
off and go back and you think I'm the
Yes.
bad luck, so maybe.
yeah, we're dropping off our banana. and,
Yeah, I almost brought a banana this morning. We could have blamed it on there. But you ate one this morning, right?
I did eat a banana this morning.
That was
so
it.
We can blame it on that. Tomorrow I will not eat a banana.
Okay, tying up a minute. Okay, we still have any more?
18. So
18 more stations.
lots can happen in 18 stations.
All right, y'all gonna have to pick it up down here. Yeah, I tell you what,
Well, we're aiming for what, 7 more today?
7 more today.
7 more today and finish up some tomorrow. Okay.
And then we'll do the rest of those really thick, nice habitat ones tomorrow morning. So
Okay.
you guys pray for good weather for us.
Okay, we will. Well, thank y'all so much, and thank y'all for doing all the hard work.
Good to see you again.
Okay, it's good to see y'all. Okay, Sarah.
Bye.
You email me some good news now.
I will.
Okay.
Even if I have to lie.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
See you later.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.